Hello and welcome! This is Gunner, and we're back with some more MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. And it's time to do yet another Solaris run. And this time we'll be stepping into the Assault class. And to do that, I will be using the Dicey here. And its weapons loadout for right now is 6 planned extended range large lasers that we're going to be firing in sequence. Now, this should be pretty devastating firepower. As we see, our firepower is pretty much as full up as it can get. But I am a little bit concerned about our heat efficiency, as I ran a similar setup with the Mad Cat running 5 extended range large lasers, and that lighter mech had some heat efficiency problems, and I think that we'll see the same thing with the Daichi. Even though we have more heat sinks in this thing, might be wiser to run 5 and increase the heat sinks to be more heat efficient than to run 6 like we are, but we'll give it a go. Let's at least attempt it. So let's do the first one in the jungle. We're going to be moving up to the Daichi, which is the only assault mech we have right now. And we'll be, of course, supporting Davian here. And here we go.
It's nighttime in the jungle. This is Duncan Fisher bringing you another fierce assault match. The jungle season is coming to a close, and tonight's game is the last batch of new faces we'll see. One guy to watch is Spectre. He's a one-man army, a serious power player who has really been on a roll. I'm sure he'll give us one heck of a performance tonight. The assault season so far has been a real battle. You have so many big names and elite pilots competing for recognition that no one has really stood out. I feel like every match anyone could come out on top. There have been some real nail-biters this season, and tonight's game doesn't look any different. You know what that means.
Oh, I forgot to put on sequential fire. We're already in trouble. Alright, here we go. Alright, this guy's lightening me up, but that's okay. Now keep in mind, we're in water, so heat efficiency is not going to be as bad as normal. Ow! So this guy's using some pretty devastating weapons on us. Ow.
A lot of the pilots who come through the ranks to the assault matches are used to being the best of the best. But the assault class is where the big boys live. In any given match you can see Odessa, Coleman, Niels, or the next Solaris champion battling it out. The real key players who ranked high in past championships have staked their claims in assault championship matches, and that can make for some truly spectacular games. He showed a lot of patience and carefully lined up the shot.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Play it. He's one step closer to victory.
All right. Well, that hurt quite a bit, but really we shouldn't be doing close range tangling like that, and I also forgot to set my weapons on sequential before the start of the match. That's the one downside of the way this game works, is you have to do that before you start each mission. You have to set it up for sequential. It doesn't do that automatically. Alright, let's see what we can do here as we come on top of the hill here. And
this is assault competition. Look at them down there. They are the leanest and meanest bunch of pilots you'll ever see. He's out of here.
Now we're gonna work on Ricardo here. Because he is not as beat up as the other guy. Oh.
Target destroyed.
For a second there, I thought we had somebody next to us. Okay. Taking damage. Unfortunately, a lot of the weapons they hit us with now rock my cockpit, which makes accuracy difficult.
It looks like Spectre wants to take first today. He's just nailed his second pilot for the match.
Target destroyed.
Okay, it's me and Alex Height here. I've taken pretty serious damage, and he has not. All right, let's get away from him. Okay, we wrecked him pretty good here. All right, we don't want him to be able to back away. Ow.
Spectre does it again. He did it again, folks. That's right, Spectre, the Merc Maverick, has destroyed all who stood before him. He now qualifies for the Jungle Championship. The competition at the championship level is fierce, but I think this kid has all it takes. He has the skill, he has the moves, and man does he have the drive. It has been an incredible day today, Solaris fans. This is Duncan Fisher, live from the jungle, signing off.
Unfortunately, we took some heavy damage there to the point that I'm going to think we're going to be end up spending more money repairing the mech than we made. So right now, we made 3.3 million overall. Let's see what the expense of repairing my mech is. Yeah, so we just lost more money than we just made. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the way these things go. We didn't lose any weapon systems. All the locations that we lost had no weapon systems in them. But that's still not great, so I'm going to go ahead and repair this. It also means we're going to be out for 2 weeks, so we can't just go right on to another assault match here, at least not yet. So let's go to the free market. I'm not going to advance time. I think that's a waste of money. And let's take a look at what chassis we have available. Now, I could buy another Daishi and just load it out the same way and use those to like back and forth, but at the same time we could also set up another mech. Well, we've got an Atlas. That's kind of the classic inner sphere 100-ton mech. But let's go through the list and see what else we got on the list. List. We've got a Gladiator, which is 95 tons, which isn't too far off of a full allotment. Mad Cat 2 might be a good call too. That's 90 tons, so we're 10 tons under the weight of the Daishi, but this might be a mech that I'd want to use in normal missions, and it is assault class, so it would count. Now, we spend a lot of the money we have in the bank to do this, so I have to be mindful of that. Also, I don't know 100% what the loadout of a lot of these mechs are, so when we make a gamble, we got to be careful. We got a Victor, which is 80 tons. So, I think going through our list, the Sunder is a 90-ton mech, which I don't know if I have much knowledge of that particular mech. The Mad Cat Mark II is not a bad mech, but I don't know if I necessarily want to buy that. Loki, Hellspawn. This is a 95-ton mech. Inner Sphere. I think I want to go with this Gladiator. It's a clan mech, 95 tons. 17 million though, pretty expensive. I don't know what its weapons loadout is, and that's the one thing I'm a little bit concerned about, because if it's very ballistic oriented, we might not have the firepower to set up the way I'd want to anyway. Okay, so an assault mech with jump jets, we'll be getting rid of those. There's also fast and maneuverable. Some say that 1-1 fights is king of the battlefield. Well, we'll grab the Gladiator. Give it a try here. We've been going clan mechs when I can purchase one, and I think we kind of stick with that for now. As I said, I'm going to save Mad Cat 2 because I think there's a way you can get them in mission, and we'll be fighting the clans probably the next mission we do. So let's buy this mech. Again, we're not going to have a whole lot of money after I do this, so keeping that in mind. But I am at Solaris, where we can easily rack up cash if I need to. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Gladiator and see if it was money well spent. Okay, so let's strip out the weapons. Okay, so we got a lot of Omni slots, which help, and it seems overall to be energy-oriented. So first things first, we're going to strip out the jump jets. That's just silliness. ECM system, I don't think I care about. We might end up with a anti-missile system. And I'll max out the armor, but I have a feeling We might not. We'll see. We'll see how the armor works out for us. But one easy thing to do would be boop, boop, a little bit out of the legs, and then laser anti-missile system. Now we've got 36 tons to work with. Okay, with that being said, we've got a big ballistic slot here. I could very easily probably set this thing up for the same kind of firepower we had before with the large lasers. Or we could try something different. Granted, keeping in mind that I only have so much money to spend. I could always sell. As a matter of fact, let's sell. Let's save for now. I've got chassis that I'm not using, so let's go through the list. Okay, Cougar. We really only need one of those. It's like we're getting to a point where light mechs are really not doing us much good. So I think we get rid of the Owens. We'll probably want to strip weapons out of it though, so I should be mindful of that. Let's go for that. I don't know if it does that or not when you sell something, but better safe than sorry. Let's go ahead and just strip weapons out of any mech that we're going to sell. I think I'm going to want the Cougar around because that's probably going to be the light mech that we use, but we only really have to keep one around as far as I'm concerned, so yeah, we'll save that. So we'll just strip out weapons of the two Cougars just to be sure we're not selling one that has weapons. There we go. Yeah, see, this one has weapons, so I'm just going to strip that out. And we're good to go. And I don't think the Bushwhackers ever were armed, so I could probably sell one of those easily. I mean, we're already to the point where we're going to be using heavy mechs. So, free market, I'm for sure going to be selling at least one of the Bushwhackers and one of the Cougars. And I'll sell the Owens. And then beyond that, I could probably sell the Hellspawn, and I might keep the Hellhound around just because that is my current medium mech that I use in the arena. But we'll sell this. I mean, at least gives me some money. I mean, 10 million, that's pretty darn good. And we could play around with some different loadouts. So one loadout I'd like to play around with, at least the idea of, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, but I'm going to arm myself so that I could do it. So we'll buy one of these. See how viable this is. So switch over to the Gladiator, which should be stripped out of weapons. And of course, we're going to want to paint it as well. And let's see what we can do with a ballistic weapons loadout. So AC-20 and AC-20. That would be two of those. We could do it in the arm instead, so like that. And we have a lot of heat sinks that we don't use. And also burn down a little bit there. I mean, that's a lot of tonnage putting into weapons that are fairly short range. I mean, they're very damaging, but I only get 20 shots a piece, which is not particularly good, but I mean, it's a thought, right? It could be fun. But yeah, that's definitely getting in close and personal and slugging for the damage, which I'm not sure I'm a big fan of. We could go the missile route that we went with the Daishi and try that loadout and see how well that does in the Solaris arena. I am really curious how these ultra cannons would do, especially if we up their ammo load like that. I mean, it's a really long recycle time, so it's like pow, pow, wait 4 seconds, you know, not ideal. Of course, again, heat sinks. We probably don't need any of those. So we can use backup weaponry. And considering that these are, what, 350 range, we're going to want weapons that are roughly the same kind of range. So let's say we go a weapon there and a weapon there. Yeah, you know what? This would not necessarily be a bad call. So we've got medium laser, medium laser, medium laser, ultra cannon, and they're all roughly the same range. As long as we're within 350 meters, these will all hit. And we could heat sink up as well. So let's say we put like that. That's our current firepower. We've got 4 medium lasers and 2 ultra cannons. And then we heat sink up, get rid of some of that heat efficiency problem. I mean, it's worth a try. We're trying to be experimental here. I think that's worth a try. We've got the armor, we've got the firepower. As long as we're close into our target, we're not very fast, so it's going to be hard to get in close to the target. So I have to keep that in mind. But we get close into a target, we just plaster them with the AC-20s, and we finish them with the medium lasers. So for now, this is going to be fine for me. We're probably just going to sequential fire it anyway. But I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.